Hey guys, Richie here from RW Hobbies. Welcome back to part number 2 of my A-6E Intruder build. So this week we're going to work on the wings. Hey, welcome back. Hope you had a great week and we're moving along with this build, part number 2. So we're going to skip all the way forward to the wing section. So last week we did the ordnance, this time the wings. Those who follow my channel for the last few years will know that I don't necessarily always build according to the instructions. Sometimes it doesn't quite flow right. In this case, we don't have the cockpit set, so I can't do that, so I need to move on to other parts. And my building is all about subsections. So I build everything in subsections, bring it all together at the end, and that's how I pretty much manage my build. So we're going to start part 11. We're going to go through and we're going to build the exhaust and the inner kind of wing section. Then 12 is just a reversal, so that's the right side. Then we're going to skip a few more parts, and then we're going to do the wings. So we've got an option here. We have the wing flaps down or up. We're going to go down with a speed brake open. So we're going to use this section for the left wing. And we're going to use, again, the right side of this page, section 15, for the right wing. So left wing, right wing. So, again, this column is if you want your wings up. Sorry, your flaps up. This is if you want your flaps down. So we're going to, do, again, do down. And then moving along, that's pretty much it. So we're going to have the wings down on this one. We obviously haven't built the fuselage yet, but the wings are going to be down. And you can do folded if you like, but I just like the lines, especially with the camo pattern we're doing. I think down's going to look better. So we're basically going to work our way through, again, steps 11, 12, and then 14 and 15. So as always, I'm going to start cutting the pieces off the sprues, getting them all cleaned up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've built up the left wing completely, and then we'll do the right wing together. So let me talk through this left wing real quick. It's very kind of weak through the join here, where you fold it. As most of these Trumpeter HobbyBoss kits, I think they're really designed to have the wings folded. And the same issue with my Growler, if you remember back to that 32nd scale one I did. But nonetheless, got together, and it's pretty strong now. Plenty of glue, and a little bit of sprue glue just around here, just to really kind of tighten those joints up and tighten it. So, that's together, no problem at all. Didn't add the guys in the front, the leading edges here, because this back here should be red. So it's going to be easier just to mask this rectangle, paint it red, and then later add these on at the end in the gray. Well, actually, these would be the camo color, right? So that's why I left these guys off. Got to paint these exhausts up, and they basically fit into here, and then this kind of cowling goes over like that. So these will be painted up separately, and then I'm probably going to paint the edge of this the light ghost grey, just around the edge, so make it a bunch easier for painting. So once we've got all painted up, all together, we can mask it off, we don't have to worry about it, because all these different colours and stuff can get a little tricky. So we'll take care of that in a little bit. So this wing, again, built up, no problem at all. Again, all the flaps deployed. One thing is, make sure you get the right things together, like the right kind of struts that hold it in. They'll get it mixed up. I did, and they're all crooked, and so this time around I got a few little tips to help with that. So also, as you can see here, help with my pieces, I labeled them Sharpie, like, you know, left, or E13, E23, all that kind of stuff out the way, so just when we come to fit it, we're not struggling with knowing which is left and which is right. We can just go ahead and, you know, fit the stuff pretty easily. So that's the top tip. So this is all leftover pieces we need to paint and get ready for the left wing, but here you go. So looking pretty good. Yeah, so that guy's done. So let's go ahead and do the right wing. So first thing, I've cleaned these parts up already. First thing I'm going to do is sandwich these two parts together, which will be B1 and B2. So using my extra thin, my thick cement, I'm just going to run around all the edges. And I'm not using extra thin, because extra thin will just evaporate before you even make it round. Anything more than like a centimeter, I just use this kind of glue. It's way better. And it's kind of a little thicker, so it kind of helps with kind of filling as well. Okay. And that's actually a really good fit. So hold that in. A couple of pegs just to hold it. Okay, so that bit we'll just let set aside. Now we're going to take this guy, which is B6, and we're going to have the flaps down, obviously, like the other side. So we're going to use these M14 and M13. Now, again, this is where I got confused last time because I got pieces mixed up. And another top tip, do one wing at a time. Don't cut it all off because you get these pieces mixed up. It's a pain in the ass. So what I've done is, on my instructions here, see I've marked M14 at the back black, and I've colored it with Sharpie, so I know which one's 14. So I know this way round, I know that 14 is going to be furthest away from me, so it's going to go, actually wrong way around, it's going to go like that, and 13 is going to go into this side. So again, healthy dose of glue. Make sure I got the right one, yep, 14. Nope, keep doing it the wrong way around, so there you go, like that. And make sure I got this one right way around as well. And this glue dries really strong as well, so nice and strong glue. Okay, cool. Next up, the exhaust here. This is D10 and D22. I'm just going to glue these parts together. And I'm just saying here, that little tab should actually fit inside like that. Help it line up. This is so far into the fuselage, you're not going to see any of this at all. So again, the ejection pin marks and stuff in there, I wouldn't even worry about. Well, let's give it a quick. All right, just a quick little sand and line this up. Oh. Wait, I don't remember if I put glue on there or not. I think I did. A little bit more. Okay, and this one is the right. And I think this bit, yeah, this bit goes on here. Okay, just like that. So just like we did with the left side, we'll paint these up at the same time. So that means painted up the fan blade. You're not going to see this, but we will paint it up anyway, just for the go for the process and do it. It's going to be back there, round a bend inside the exhaust on a 48 scale aircraft. Unless you get a flashlight and you look closely up against this, you're not going to see it. And yeah, if anyone, these aren't for tournaments or competitions, but if anyone comes around my house and gets a flashlight out and starts looking at intakes of my aircraft, they'll probably be asked to leave and escorted out, probably. Yeah, that's not going to happen, but you can't see a thing. We'll go for the motions. We'll just paint it like a random metallic color anyway and just stick it on the back just to do that. So that's done. These bits we need. These two bits we need for later. This is the shroud that kind of goes around the exhaust, and this is one of the leading flaps. So take a look at this. It should be glued. Okay, and this guy is going to fit in the two smaller holes at the top. Then this will fit into the bottom. And you can see there, make sure that's flush. So just going to push that in. And there we go. That's it. That's done. So that's the inner side of the wing done. Oh, that wasn't in properly. Clicks in. There you go. So it should be flush at the top. And the bottom there, those two should be flush. And that's that part of the wing done. So that's looking cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prepare the... the outer, get these parts cut off and cleaned up, and at the same time I'm going to go ahead and start throwing some paint down on these exhausts so we can start installing that as well. Alright, forgot this part, so I glued that in, and now we can move on with the outer wing section. So, clean all these parts off, did add that, glue that part on so I didn't lose it. I think it's L11 possibly, the tiny little part right there, and then basically it's just the first step here is just to glue these two sections together. So again, with my thick cement, just going to round around all the edges, just like that. And again, just clamp it up. And before I forget, we'll add this part in here too. So if you want wings folded, it's quite nice detail actually out of the box. You know, here, this side, again, looks pretty decent, but we're not going to see any of this because it's all going to be closed up. It just fits in really nicely, like that. Okay, the flap, same deal. I colored on my instructions. Let's see here, M11. So that's M11. So that's going to be on my. Which way around does this go? Let's see. That way around is going to be furthest away from me. So M11 on here. Sorry, I'm a little bit off camera there. Okay, so now we'll add the speed brake. So on the top here, we have two parts. On the underside, 3 parts. Okay, and I want to make this super strong, so I'm just come back with my extra thin and just weld it down the side like that. So I'm going to let that sit up for a little bit, let dry. We do have this guy to go on too. Which is, let's see, we got, I think this is D25. Like that. Again, the leading edge E32, I think it is, we're not going to add because, again, we want to paint that, so we'll add that later once it's painted. So now let's add the speed brake, and it's going to go smallest to the inside. Alright, next up we're going to join the two parts together. So you got this part right here, which is M37, and I think the slightly short, I'm putting a little bit of glue on here, actually put the wrong glue on. Put a little bit of glue on, and I think the shortest part goes on into the main, the inner part of the wing. Now I'm going to add a bunch of glue on this too. And there's a hole on this side. And then I'm just going to glue it really tight to make sure there's no seam line on top here. Alright, I'm back, and what a nightmare have that flap. I used to cut the wrong parts off again, 2 times in a row. So off camera, fixed it, got it all set. Again, the importance of making sure you cut off the right part is key there. So it should run flush along the 2 flaps on 2 different parts of the wings there. God, I can't believe I did that wrong twice. Oh well. So what I'm going to do is, this part here adds some extra rigidity. This goes on top of the gap here and kind of closes it all up. But what I found is these brackets here actually impeded it. So you're not going to see inside any of this stuff. So a pair of snips. I'm just going to go through, cut each one off at the top there. And I am going to go ahead and just fill it with glue. Just, again, just want to be a strong join here. I don't think to fall apart. Okay, I'm just going to go around the edge and offer up the part. So what I'm going to do now is, to give it extra strength, I'm going to bring my sprue goo, which is basically plastic hard melted and extra thin. And this is like, dries basically just like plastic. And for this kind of stuff, so drop around, it's just going to really help strengthen this wing. Nice kind of thin consistency on this one. See, I've got all over, wipe off my finger. Just rub it in all those gaps. And again, it's just really going to help just keep those two wing parts really kind of tight together. Cool. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to let this dry, and I need to paint up those exhausts, and I'll be right back. Alright, so painted these guys up, and a dark metallic color. I happen to use titanium Model Master, rest in peace, but any kind of dark, these actually spray really nicely, these lacquer. Obviously you can't get them anymore, they're out of business, but just dark color, maybe gunmetal, or whatever you can find, some kind of dark color. Look at reference pictures, and sprayed these, not that you can see them at all, but I did spray them a stainless steel, again, Model Master. Just had these at hand, I thought, why not? So, did those, and then around the edge here, the fuselage color, which is going to be light ghost gray, we're going to be using Mr. Color 308 lacquer paints. So I just literally just sprayed a little bit around the edge, just inside and out, just to make things a little bit easier for later on, and you see it just masked up, so it don't fall off. So that's kind of where we're at. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to glue the fan blades onto the back. I'm not even going to bother washing them or anything else because, again, you're not going to see this. So, being painted, I'm just going to use a little bit of super glue. Okay, that guy's done. So, luckily we labeled these left and right, so know which one's which. Left. And there's a little kind of spot where it glues in. See right there, and there's a little tab. Now, again, you can see why I painted the inside now, because this would be a nightmare to paint after the fact. So if you do it now, it makes it a little bit easier for the build. Okay, so that side's in. Now, when I built my kinetic prowler, I forgot to put these parts in, I remember, and yeah, it went together really nicely, just I forgot to put these in, and then after the fact, I thought I'd add them in after the fact, and then I realised you couldn't, so that kind of ruined that build for me. But okay, that one's in too. Oh, is it? Yeah. So as I mentioned, you're not going to see those fan blades, it's back down like a dog leg. Alright, so that one's in. Now we can just glue these two parts together. Now, these tabs should be there. I sanded this one off, but I think that should be on there too, that little tab. I think it helped with lining up and stuff. So, alright, so there we go. I clamped them and let them dry a little bit, and we're done. So you can see by painting now, it makes things a lot bit easier down the road. So that's all taken care of. When it comes to painting the main thing, we can just basically just mask that off and it's all ready to go. So yeah, no problem at all really with these. Again, it's just, I think the redesign had them folded, so put them down, just extra little sprue glue and stuff, just to make them really rigid and strong, which they are now they've dried. And the main thing for me was just these guys, just make sure I use the right ones, but just take your time and that kind of stuff, and you should be no problem at all. So both these wings are done to go along with the ordnance we've done, and also numbering, well, marking on these which parts they are is going to help us down the road too, because we know exactly, you know, which part and where to go, if it's left or right, that kind of stuff. So again, we left them off because we're going to paint the fronts red, and then at the very end, you know, we'll add these on once they're painted. So that is it. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Next week we'll be back with another video. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.